considering what we're doing, stood outside the meeting chamber of the Master Lords of Waterdeep. Well, after our heroic return, where we were accused of attempting to murder the Open Lord, and the explosive destruction of the lamp and the death of Silshard, we were peacefully hiding out in Kalimshan, and I had just finished totally ethically messing with my friend's memories so he could still do warlock things, when we were interrupted by the sudden arrival of an interdimensional god by the name of Kazia, who had sensed a great disturbance in the forces of the universe and been summoned over to check it out. Also, technically our corporate boss telling us that we hadn't paid him in several months, so that was fun. We, after a brief conversation about what had happened, decided to organise a mob to go over and travel to Waterdeep via a magical portal that Kazir created to his temple there, and then somehow managed to incite enough rioting that the Master Lords thought it was a good idea to remove Lord Ilvaster from power. I'm still not quite sure how all that happened, to be honest. There was an explosion, I think. Hal went to check it out. He didn't tell me what it was about, but he knows that it's something to do with the Harper's Tower being destroyed. Oriana saw a ghost in a mirror, I think. She hasn't told me that either. And Génie is currently somewhere in Kalimshan, question mark? Génie?
Génie doesn't know where he is. I'm assuming, am I still in the kitchen?
Yes.
Let him cook.
Is there anybody else in the house?
Yes. In fact, Thomas Blackwood is reclining on the sofa.
I'm gonna walk out of the kitchen carrying my latest dish, and much like the community meme where he walks out and with pizza and the room's on fire, is gonna wonder A, where everyone has gone, and B, why it's just Thomas Blackwood.
So you are aware that a few hours ago, Kazia, who is a god pretty much from another world, visited and told your friends that he could solve most of their problems by going to Waterdeep in his guise as a masked Lord of Waterdeep and trying to convince the council to get rid of Ranulf. You elected to stay, well, you didn't quite elect to stay behind. They left without you. You were in the kitchen making food at the time. Thomas Blackwood is sat there, and you can see he's sat cross-legged on the sofa, and he has his head to his temple in the same way that you've seen people when they're casting the sending spell.
Hand to temple.
Hand to his temple, sorry. When people are casting the sending spell.
I will wait until he notices me or responds to me in some way. I'm not going to interrupt his spell.
Okay. After a few seconds, he says, "Génie, I can feel your presence lurking there."
Would you like one of these biscuits?
He reaches out without opening his eyes and takes a biscuit to eat it. He then
I want to see how he responds. I'm going to describe they are garlic and cheese biscuits.
Okay. He bites into it. You see him pause for a few more seconds than he should. Then he keeps chewing, swallows what was already in his mouth, sets the other half of the biscuit down and says, "These are good." And carries on thinking. Not too much garlic?
Not too much garlic? No. Okay.
He says, "I should probably make you aware of what's just happened."
That would be nice if you would please. And I'll sit down opposite and pick up my own biscuit, bring out a pot of dip to go with it.
He says, "It seems that Howl and Ms. Audriel and Mr. Victus have gone with that masked Lord Kazir to Waterdeep, and Kazir has managed to convince the council to depose Ranulf Ilvaster as Open Lord of Waterdeep, 16 to 15 in the final vote. They also seem to have managed to incite a bit of a riot. And it appears that there were some blasphemous interactions between Kazir and his lead disciple, John, that certainly won't get the DM into trouble at a future date."
So there is good news and there is bad news?
No, there's bad news and there's worse news. The bad news is that Ranulf Ilvaster is no longer Open Lord of Waterdeep, meaning there's a huge political power vacuum. That is not going to end well for anyone, least of all those who are wanted by the city. Your friends, it seems, are now gathered at the steps of the castle, having calmed the crowd, but I'm unsure what's going to happen next. I don't like uncertainty.
I do not think anybody likes uncertainty in their life, apart from maybe, those chaotic vote down the road. Can we join them?
Yes, I can teleport us to them. Do you object to a little shadow travel?
I'm afraid you might have to refresh my memory.
Shadow travel is where we travel through the literal darkness and pass into the Shadowfell and out again. It can be a depressing and distressing experience.
I think I will be okay with that. I have some ginger to eat on the way. Is it a long journey or is it?
Oh, it will be momentary, but you'll feel the after effects. You may need something stronger than ginger. Chocolate is usually a good supplement.
You underestimate my abilities, Lord Thomas. Ginger has never failed me thus far.
He says, "All right." And he says, "Are you ready?" and offers you his hand.
I'll take his hand.
Okay.
Would you like some?
He says, "No, thank you. I'm well accomplished at this."
Another biscuit, perhaps?
No, I think we should save them for the others. And he will grab your hand and pull you into a shadow that's against the wall, and a moment later you emerge out of the darkness right behind Howl.
What is wrong with Blackwood men? What is wrong with us? Why do we all like this?
That's how we've been getting in and out of the cafe. I've discovered it. I made it jealous without even knowing.
The biggest development of this entire campaign.
No shadows in the cafe. The lights, it's going to be like the IKEA light department.
Sounds horrible.
Genie, why do we now own 7,000 lamps?
There will be no shadows.
So, you said that Génie and Uncle Thomas appear behind us.
Yes.
Right?
So you aren't aware they're there.
What about with a passive perception of 23?
Good God.
Good God, how is your passive perception 23?
I don't actually know. Hang on, I'm going to look at this.
I don't know. That's great. You should know that.
Oriana fancies Génie, so whenever the
It's because I have a plus 13 to perception.
Mad.
Cool, okay.
That would explain why I'm not gonna.
Then how has he been getting in here? How does he keep doing this?
A wizard
Doesn't
did
care.
it.
A wizard literally did do it, I think.
You see Howl and Thomas appearing behind you. Do you do anything?
Wait, did you see that I see it?
No, sorry, you see Génie and Thomas appearing behind Howl. That's what I meant to say. What do you do, Oriana?
Checking audio levels, I'm sorry. We're fine on audio, by the way. I think Oriana's still a little bit kind of shell-shocked. So does like a little bit of a double take seeing Thomas and Génie just suddenly there. But we'll give them both like a curt nod, like, yeah, this has been interesting.
What?
Glad you're finally here.
What's in front of me
Howl.
other than the bum of my friend?
Like
What's
what are you
the
seeing? So you have emerged on a staircase that leads up from the main road up to Castle Waterdeep. In front of you is a large crowd of people who are all carrying torches and pitchforks and banners emblazoned with stylized Ks for Kazir. They're beginning to disperse. It seems as though you've arrived just at the end of some sort of riot or uprising. They are all mollified and pacified, and they're beginning to disperse in small numbers, and you can see people heading towards various taverns dotted around the castle ward. You can also see that there is a host of masked lords, about 30 odd, of whom are standing on the steps as well. And you can see coming down from the castle is Ranulf Ilvaster in his white robes of office and carrying the pastoral staff of the Open Lord of Waterdeep. And he is descending the staircase. He is flanked by the head of the Watchful Order of Magists and Protectors, whose surname I have forgotten. Morden?
Morden sounds right.
Commander Amartia Morden?
Yeah.
Amartia Morden, I believe, is the one.
Fantastic.
Yeah, Amartia Morden. That's what I've got on my notes
Yeah.
that I have. Yes. Do we all see them all coming down the stairs then? Like that pretty
Yes.
obvious.
Yeah.
Cool.
Howl, you are yet to notice Génie or Thomas. So when Oriana says it's good to have you here, you assume she's talking to you.
I will look at Oriana and say, I mean, where else would I be?
Is gonna give him a kind of confused look before just kind of looking between Howl, looking past Howl, looking at Howl.
I'm assuming I can then catch that pretty obviously,
Yes.
right? I will turn around, seeing obviously my uncle and Génie. I assume they're not still holding hands, by the way, from when Uncle Thomas took Génie's hand.
I don't know, Génie, did you let go?
How bad was it?
Make a Constitution saving throw.
Plus 10. It's not 16. Hang on, math will get me there. 14.
14. You feel as though you're about to throw up, but you think if you stay quiet and still for a little bit, it'll pass, and think happy thoughts.
I'm gonna pull out a piece of baguette
Okay.
and just tear a bit off and start eating it. And be like,
So Génie's definitely not holding Uncle Thomas's
No.
hand still. Then. Cool, that's fine. In that case, Hal will look at them both, look to Uncle Thomas,
Mhm.
and then kind of look towards, obviously knowing what we know, looking towards, like past Uncle Thomas, towards Lord Ilvaster coming down the stairs. Hal's gonna like grin wirily at Uncle Thomas and say, well, I mean, it seems like we've done a pretty good job of shaking things up, well, since we've been gone at least.
He sighs deeply and says, "You've no idea what you've just done."
Hal will like indignantly kind of grimace a little bit and say, I mean, hey, Uncle, it wasn't us that did this. Exactly, it was Kazir. So
Yes, that abject agent of chaos whom you should never have let loose on this city.
With all
Listen
due
up.
respect, Thomas,
yeah,
try and stop him.
yeah, you don't know Kazir quite as well as we do, and yeah, as Alex said, once Kazir's put his mind to something, it's just going to happen.
This is deeply unfortunate. Well, let's find out what happens, shall we?
I mean, with all due respect, Uncle, what's exactly so bad about it? Lord Ilvaster was not fit for the job, regardless of our own feelings on the matter.
Lord Ilvaster was weak, manipulable, It wouldn't have taken long for us to be able to get a hold over him. Now there's a power vacuum, and God knows who's going to replace him.
Has anyone suggested? I'm not doing this in a French accent. What was the previous person's name?
Laurel?
Laurel.
Laurel. Has anybody suggested Laurel for the new one?
I mean, it's certainly an option, but it would look quite bad.
Thomas says, the way it works is that now there will have to be an emergency meeting of the council, and someone will have to nominate a new Open Lord. I don't suppose Kazir is still around.
No.
So he
Kazir-
caused a problem and left.
That's typically Kazir's MO, yes.
I can understand why you're friends with him.
Well, Kazir's a lot more reliable than you might think.
Well, let's see what Ranulf Ilvaster has to say for himself.
So was available when your party needs a fourth? Am I still feeling queasy?
Yes, you are.
Can I force myself to throw up a little bit once Sylvester's nearby and ruin his white cloaks?
Do you want to throw up over the just deposed Open Lord of Waterdeep?
not like fully over him, just like on
Hang
the
on.
floor, but where it's gonna splash onto him, like just
Okay.
like blow his knees.
All right. Make a
Could I try and stop Génie? We're still very wanted.
Génie, you can attempt to do this. I would like you to make a. I think technically this should be a sleight of hand check. So I'm going to ask you to make a dexterity check, and if you have sleight of hand, you can apply your bonus to it.
Sleight of hand as Génie puts his finger down his throat.
Yeah.
No, I'm already queasy. Can I have advantage with it?
Yes, you can.
The worst advantage Dan's
and-
ever given.
And Howl, if you want, if you got something like prestidigitation that you could use to kind of like clean things up.
Let me take a look. I absolutely do have prestidigitation. Yeah, I will. I kind of want to stop Génie from being seen entirely, though. Given that
what would you
I'm
like to do?
Given that I'm invisible, or I can turn invisible at will, can I grab Génie, yank Génie sort of behind me, and then stand in front of Génie, I guess? I figure if I'm invisible, I don't know, that probably wouldn't work. I just
Yeah.
want to grab Génie and yank them.
Guess who's getting vomit on their cloak?
Okay. In which case, make you need to make a strength athletics check, Howl.
I can do that.
Is that a contested check?
Yes, your dexterity, acrobatics, or strength athletics, whichever is higher.
I got 18.
Okay.
So I got a 14 on the sleight of hand.
Yep.
Before I roll the next dice.
I don't like
Natural 20
that. Okay.
plus what was it? Strength athletics plus
Yeah.
6.
Okay.
I am like an anvil.
Génie, Howl, you grab onto Génie's cloak, and Génie just pulls away from you, almost pulling you over in the process.
It's just that retching motion.
Yeah.
Once I'm in it, you can't stop it. It's like, "Whoa."
It's already in motion.
And you vomit onto the floor, and it splashes over the white robe of the newly deposed Open Lord of Waterdeep.
Like I don't want it to be like I hit him directly.
No, it like splashes.
No. Okay, can I... Oh dear. Génie's not in any way disguised at all, right?
No, not in the
Are you
slightest.
disguised?
Right, let me
I'm gonna-
just...
I'm gonna say.
Okay.
Oh, my apologies. I did not realize you were standing there. It was quite a journey I just had. Let me clear that up for you, and I will prestidigitate some cleaning.
Okay.
Of his.
You do so, thereby alert.
I'm gonna let him see that he's covered in sick.
Yes,
I'm not gonna clean it.
He
greatly.
looks down. is very disgusted and very angry, and he is now obviously alert to all of your presence. At which point he says...
wasn't already? I assumed he was.
At which point he says, "Commander, arrest these traitors to the city." She doesn't move.
I think you are overestimating how much authority you have right now, Lord Ilvaster.
I don't recognize this council. I am the Open Lord of Waterdeep, duly elected, rightly put in place. This ripping up of a mob and convincing this council, it was done duplicitously.
And can you give anything to back that up at all, or are you just throwing a strop?
The fact that you were involved, Mr. Blackwood, indicates...
Was I involved?
You were in the chamber.
Were we?
You may have been invisible, but that doesn't preclude you from being detected by the magical sensors placed throughout the room.
And so what if I was present? I don't get a vote, Lord Ilvaster.
I bet you can't find a single shred of evidence that I was there. I accuse these false claims.
Commander Morden takes a step forward with her hand on the hilt of her sword and says, "I hate to agree with the heroes, Lord Ilvaster, but I'm afraid to say that you have no authority here anymore. Whether or not they were in the council chamber is irrelevant." They are quite right. They don't have a vote in the proceedings of the Masked Lords, unless, of course, one of them is a Masked Lord.
Oh, well, that'd be telling, and that's not how things are done around here, is it, Lord Ilvaster?
He is seething, and he is shouting at the people. How dare you revolt against me? I am in control here. I have worked too hard to get here.
At that, can Howl... I'm going to completely abandon any semblance of subtlety here. Howl's going to, turn around to the already riled up mob and say, "See how your previous Open Lord openly and brazenly ignores the desires of his supposed people. I think there's a job well done here today. I hope the next one does a better job of representing the desires of the people elected."
You see that he is beginning to cast a spell with his staff.
I want to try and counterspell him.
Okay. I would like everybody please to roll initiative.
Combat!
Excellent.
Yes!
Now I can kill him for realsies!
Now we can do that crime we were accused of. Why does this keep happening to my D&D characters? Oh. Well, that's...
Oh, advantage.
Oh, wait. Do you want us to roll on D&D Beyond so it's in the combat?
If you wouldn't mind, that would be very helpful for me, please. It would also
I would
help
love
if
to.
had D&D
I rolled
Beyond.
very low.
Can I manually roll in the combat?
I rolled even lower.
Entertain the viewers for me a moment, please, people. While I
So,
What's your
sort something
dex
out.
bonus? We both rolled 17.
Wait, me?
We both rolled 17 for initiative.
Oh, well, my dex bonus is +5, but I bet yours is also +5.
Yeah.
I will...
Roll
Okay, I'm thinking of a number. Closest one to it goes first.
I will happily let Ariana go first. 'Cause
No.
I'm gonna... Okay, I guess I don't.
What was yours?
Never mind.
13.
I'm
13.
gonna guess at 69 for no
No.
reason.
The number was 8.
Fair enough, there you go.
Excellent.
Oh, you should have done rollies. That's the next level.
I love that doing rollies on stream. Alistair, that'll get us banned from Twitch. I love that, obviously,
We live different
Alistair.
lives.
I love that Alistair, off stream was like, "What? Oh my gosh! What happened while I wasn't here last week? What? That's so wild!" Alistair walks up and immediately blows our cover as Génie.
I didn't know you were in cover.
We're like incredibly wanted.
We got accused of a crime, Alistair. You were there for that.
Yeah, but we got accused by the Open Lord, and the Open
thing
Lord's
is-
gone.
I realize that, but like, it literally just makes Génie look like he's got the absolute biggest nads on him. Like, he just walks
Also-
up.
When we accused of murdering the guy, and then the guy walks out of the palace.
We were
Think to
accused of
murder.
You were,
attempted,
you were
attempted
accused of
murder.
attempted
That's why I'm
Uh,
gonna do it for realsies this time.
Yeah.
But like, if I was
Okay,
gonna
okay,
murder a
that-
man,
that-
it'd look
that
like
one was
this.
my bad. I thought he was already dead. Or like, the punishment was that we had killed him.
No. Oh dear.
The only problem is, I kind of don't want to kill him because that makes us look terrible.
No, I
But
think
there's
we...
no way for me to attack non-lethally.
It's fine. You can attack as lethally as you like. I've got enough diamonds.
Oh, okay.
We are not wasting raised deads on this guy.
Yeah,
Thing is, as well, I think, especially given that, like, obviously Hal's currently in a moderately okay mental state thanks to Alex shenanigans.
yeah.
I felt there's no reason to kill him in this scenario. It's just let's if he's going to start a fight, which he's started this fight, I'm just going to counterspell. You know, let's just.
I
detain
know.
him.
We don't even need to like kill him. We can just get him down to 0, and then I can spare the dying.
True.
Do you know who else we had no reason to kill? Victor Castellanter. And
Hard
yet,
disagree.
where's he?
Hard disagree. He was committing crimes to fashion, and therefore punishable by death.
But he did also incur a very cute scene between Howl and Cassius.
True.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
a
I guess
win-win.
for
Like,
people who weren't present for that, obviously, because that was off stream, that the bottom line of that scenario was essentially Howl and Cassius agreeing to go on their first date, hiding around the back of a house in the bushes, and it being very like, ooh,
Wait,
this
hang
is
on.
so embarrassing.
Okay,
And
was
then
the date behind the house in the bushes?
No, no,
or
no,
was
it
the
was
conversation
agreeing-
to agree to the date
that
in,
was
Safe.
behind, in the bushes behind?
them agreeing to go on a date. Meanwhile, above that in that building, the lights are flickering as Alec is disintegrating a civilian in a room.
Civilian is a bit
He
extreme.
was a dickhead. to be
Could
fair.
I-
There was
There
a
are
war
named
of
bad guy
Asturias.
in the book.
All right, could I have your
Yeah,
initiatives,
like-
please? Howl,
17.
Alec,
5.
Oriana.
17, but I'm going before Howl.
Okay, Génie,
Trays.
What?
in English.
13.
13. Okay.
13.
Why are you like this?
Right, so you are attempting to counterspell the spell that he's cast. What level are you casting counterspell at?
That will be at 5th level.
Okay.
Because I'm a warlock, it's all 5th level.
Yeah. All right. That spell goes off, and you counterspell.
Okay.
Is that a... Do I need to, like... Because he need to make a save or anything
Nope.
for that one? Or...
Because you
Cool.
cast it at a level that is higher than the spell at which
Okay.
it's being cast.
I don't counterspell very often. Normally my character just evolves into hitting things very hard. Is there any chance I could make a, I don't know, like an Arcana check and try and discern by counterspelling what kind of thing he was trying to cast at all?
Yes. Make an Arcana check, but I think you have this spell, so you should be able to know what it was
Cool.
anyway.
5.
Well, that is an 11.
He was attempting to cast Banishment.
Ooh, okay. Well, yeah.
Oh. He's not
Yeah.
allowed to do that. He's not the Open Lord anymore.
Yeah, I have Banishing Smite, and I can learn Banishment, but I don't normally have that, but that's pretty spicy.
All right, Oriana.
Who was he trying to banish? Damn, okay. Can I attempt to shoot his hand so that he lets go of the staff?
You may attempt to, yes.
Excellent. That's a 22 to hit.
Okay.
Ooh.
That will hit him.
Nice.
Roll your damage.
I don't have an ally within 5 feet, do I?
Yeah. Not of him.
All stuck together,
Well,
right?
Commander
Oh,
Morden
right.
actually is still stood next to him, and she,
He's an enemy of him.
she ain't looking particularly happy. So you may have sneak attack on that.
Excellent. That is 31.
31 points of damage. Okay. You. No, that's fine. Okay. Howl.
Okay, I'm going to first off call out and say, Ranulph, if this is your attempt at some sort of last death throw for your time as Open Lord, this is a pretty poor attempt. You're making a fool of yourself. Stand down. Any reaction to that?
Make a intimidation check.
I can do that.
Did he drop the staff when I shot his hand?
He did not, no.
That's a 22 on intimidation.
A 22 on intimidation, you say?
Mm-hmm.
He is looking scared, for sure.
Too right.
However, he is not prepared yet to flee this particular.
Fine. I'm gonna hit him then with... Hal's gonna like grumble and say, fine, have it your way. Go out like a coward instead of with dignity. And I'm gonna hit him with Hold Person.
Okay.
Hold Monster even, sorry. Because it's much bigger. So he needs to make for me a Wisdom saving throw, please.
Now, speaking... Is he a monster?
So Hold Monster, it does not require them to be a monster. It's simply a direct upgrade of Hold Person.
Yeah, this whole person only targets humanoids.
Yeah.
Hold Monster targets any creature type.
Okay.
Yep.
So,
It needs to be an 18.
this is a wisdom save.
Yes, please.
He succeeds.
Pooh. Cool. In that case, then, that is the end of my turn. I've got no spell slots left. I need a weapon back.
All right. Génie?
Have you seen Avatar: The Last Airbender?
I have.
You know waterbending?
Yes.
You know how that can flow into bloodbending?
Yeah, carry on.
Good God, what are you doing?
Can I control water?
No, you can't use control water to control blood.
Okay. This
Just control the water in his blood.
No, it doesn't
That's
work
what
like
I'm
that,
trying to do.
because you've got to have a certain amount of water. There are sanguimancy spells, but you don't know any of them.
I don't have them.
If only
Do
more
I-
were around.
Do I
Maybe
get
it
the
is.
feeling that we're going for hits and damage rather than... Well, no, because I recognised that he was trying to do hold person. Okay.
No, he was trying to do banish.
Yeah, he was trying to
Howell
do banish.
was, doing hold person.
Let's do Earthen Grasp.
All right, Maximilian's Earthen Grasp.
Yeah.
What do I need to do?
Make a strength saving throw.
Strength saving throw. What's the DC?
That's a good question. 16.
He succeeds.
Damn it.
You see the ground underneath his feet begin to shake, and the stones crack, and the earth begin to pull at him, but he pulls his feet out of the way. And you can see that his robe is doing part of the job of keeping his feet free from the earth.
We haven't played for a while. It's casting bonus, spiritual weapon bonus action, or using it as a bonus action.
It'll tell you on the spell.
It's you
But
cast it as a bonus action.
But you've already cast a spell this turn.
That is true.
So you can only now cast a cantrip with as a bonus action. So,
But I can't.
Anything
I'm
else?
gonna say, just stand down, man, but in a French accent. Sorry. My brain is not working.
Let's stand down.
I'm going to look threatening while I do it.
All right.
I rolled a 15 for intimidation.
Okay.
An 18, sorry.
He is going to point at Howl and say, "Well, if it's going to be like this, you look like death. Let's make you dead."
Can I quip back real quick before he does anything? I'd like to quip back and say, "Excuse me, Lord Ilvaster, I know you're having a hard time, but I put quite a lot of time into my..." And Hal's just going to go off into like a rant and he can do what he's going to do.
Whilst you're going off into your rank, could you please make a Constitution saving throw?
I sure
Do
can.
I recognise what spell he is casting?
Make a quick Arcana check.
Is he using a really strong
31.
word?
On your Arcana check. He's casting Finger of Death.
I don't know what level that is.
You do, but now that I've told you, it's too late for you to use a counter spell.
Well, I rolled a 17 on the con save.
All right,
It's not too bad.
Is not a success.
Damn, he's gonna... Shut up. I'm so sorry for what I'm about to say. Damn, man's gonna finger me on stream. No.
Connor, don't get us banned!
Nah, it's okay.
Okay, so you're going to take 64 points of necrotic damage.
That's fine. That's fine.
I
let me
would...
just-
Howl.
Yes.
You take this blast of necrotic damage, and you remember...
Oh dear, don't say that. That's a bad word.
There's some vague memory in your mind of being overwhelmed by an amount of damage. This time it feels sickly, it feels necrotic, but then you think that the last time you felt something like this, it was burning, it was fiery, and you recall having to summon an amount of energy to keep yourself and your friends safe from that blast. And I would like you to make for me, please, a charisma saving throw.
Okay, well I'm good at those, so let's hope. I'm good at those, I say. Rolling a 2, however I do have a plus 12, so that's 14.
Okay. You get the sense that there is a memory missing from your mind.
No, there's not.
Wow, thanks, Génie. I guess you're right. Okay. I can't place what that is, I assume.
No, but you now know that you are missing a memory.
Taking the blast from Finger of Death, Howl's going to, for a very split second, feeling that something's wrong, gonna kind of look up at Lord Ilvaster and say, "Try harder." And there's just a flicker of like that malevolence in Howl before he kind of like goes, something strange.
Okay. He says, "Fine." And he's going to level his staff at you all and cast a spell.
Can I counterspell it?
You may. What level? At what level are you counterspelling?
He's using an air effect. I don't think it'll be fireball. I'm going to counterspell at 7th.
Okay. Please expend a 7th level spell slot, and the staff begins to light up, and you see it flowing with fire and crackling with lightning, and then you wave your hand and it's snuffed out. He rounds on you and growls at you and says, "For a lich, you're pretty alive."
There's no need to be racist about this.
It's your turn now.
Looking at Commander Morden, does she look like she's... would she be okay with me just
take
killing
part.
me?
So she looks shocked and is going to draw her sword, and you see that she is looking at Ralph as an enemy.
Okay.
I thought they were the witch people.
In that case, I'm going to...
Yeah, she's the Watchful Order of Mages and Protectors, but you can have, like... Wizards can use swords too, Alistair.
God,
Yeah,
wizards
but they're
are
not very
allowed
good at
to-
it. That's why they're wizards.
It's
I say-
1497. Wizards can use swords now.
I'm not actually proficient in swords, so I can't use a sword. But I'm going to cast the old faithful disintegrate on him. He needs to make a dexterity saving throw, but I'm going to use one of my portent rolls, so he rolls a 2 on that dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
And you didn't use that so that Howl didn't remember that he had lost a memory.
No, that's
Well-
fun. That's spice.
Does he have a plus 20 to dexterity saving throw bonuses?
He does not know, but he is going to choose to succeed instead.
Boo!
Damn. Motherfucker has
Was
legendary
that a-
resistances.
Legendary.
That's
I
problematic.
mean, Open Lord's pretty legendary. I'll give him that. Like,
Do you think it's the cloak? You know how,
maybe.
like, in the pre-stream campaign, it was the cloak that gave somebody their power.
That was the
Let's get-
staff.
maybe-
That was the staff that Thomas had that gave him all of his abilities as Nemesis.
Yeah, we don't know that it was the staff. It could have been the cloak. We need to strip this guy.
Nah, we know it was the staff. We stole that.
You know
from
it was the staff. You took it off him. Alec, anything else on your turn?
Nope.
All
I
right.
don't have any bonus actions. I'm a wizard.
At the end of your turn, then, he is going to level his staff at you, and he is going to cast a 3rd level magic missile at you. So
How far away is he?
4, 5. He's about 20 feet away. You
Okay.
are going to take 15 points of... Hang on. 15 points of force damage, please.
Okay.
Oriana, it's your turn.
Oriana will, seeing that Ranulph has taken the aggressive stance, she's gonna kind of like shrug to herself and whisper to her bow, declaring Ranulph her enemy, and will go for another shot.
All right.
This time aiming to kill.
Okay.
God.
Yeah. Doesn't look like you've hit though.
The 19 to hit.
Okay.
He's going to shield. No, yes, he's not used his reaction. He's going to shield. So that does not hit.
Bitch.
Anything else?
And I do a thing. Hang on.
How far can I throw up if I got sick on him from 20 feet away?
He's moved around while he's been talking.
I'm just seeing if I can use. Oh no, it's an action. Never mind. Yeah, that's all I can do.
Okay.
I thought I was just
I'll
like.
bonus action to Ghost Walk.
All right. Howl.
Okay. I am going to. God, I really need to get a new weapon at some point. I am going to point at Lord Ilvaster, and I'm going to mark him as my Hexblade's Curse target.
While you do that, Alec, could you update your hit points, please? You took 15 points of force damage.
Did I've updated on?
Could you
DPR.
refresh your page then, please?
Yes.
Sorry, Howl, go on.
So I'm marking Lord Ilvaster with my Hexblade's Curse. So I'm pointing at him, and yeah, he's now my target of my curse. Not that I can attack him. I'm then going to turn around to the crowd of people, and particularly to Amartya Morden.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say, you know, if this didn't prove all of our suspicions about Lord Ilvaster before, I think it's safe to say he's a pretty bad guy now. Could we get some help, please? He's attacking us in public to kill us. He just used Finger of Death on me.
She says, Don't worry. The watchful order of mages and protectors will be here soon.
Howl will grumble and say, yeah, all the good you've done already. Howl is then going to... I'm going to charge Lord Ilvaster. Fuck him.
All right.
I'm going to charge him, and I'm going to try and tackle him to the ground and grapple him.
Okay, so this is a contest. So you need to make a strength athletics check.
I'm really good at those.
All right. What did you get?
An 18, to be fair.
Okay, you tackle him to the ground.
Cool. So while he's tackled to the ground like that, obviously I've marked him as my target, I've tackled him. Is there any way that I could now make some sort of sleight of hand check or anything to try and kind of like as part of that, wrestle his staff away from him?
Yeah, sure. Make another strength athletics check.
Sure. You're really making me... That's an 8.
Okay, he's not very forceful, but he manages to keep hold of the staff.
While that's happening, and obviously that's the last thing I'll be able to do this turn, I'm going to call out to everyone else and say, we could really do with taking him alive, by the way, as much as I hate to say that. There's a lot of questions we could do with having answered. And then that's me.
Okay. Génie?
Génie is gonna watch as Howl charges past. Génie was just about to bring out his warhammer and pass it over.
It wouldn't be my pack weapon anyway, I've got no strength, so...
That's true. Instead, now seeing that this guy is on the floor, is going to take the opportunity to cast Spiritual Weapon
Alright.
at a good level. Let's just make sure I'm not going to shoot myself in the foot at this point. I'll go at 4th.
Okay. Because he is on the ground, you have advantage on any melee attacks made against him, and your spiritual weapon can attack when you summon it, I believe?
Yeah.
Do that then.
So advantage. They both rolled a 10, but that is a +7, so it's 17.
Will not hit.
Ooh.
It bounces off of his shield.
Okay.
The spell.
Okay. And I'm gonna sort of move around so that we're not stood in a huddle, and start looking through my Mind Palace's spellbook.
Okay. It's his turn. He looks into your eyes, Howl, and smiles and says, "Look up." And he is casting a spell.
Okay. Sure, yeah, what's he hitting me with?
I will attempt to counterspell whatever he's casting at 3rd level.
I love when Alex
Okay.
around.
In which case, I need you to make a spell casting ability check. So for you, that's an int check, please.
Yep. I'd rather not reveal what I rolled, but it's not going to work.
What did you get?
I rolled a 3, so 8.
Okay, so your counterspell fails. Please mark off the spell slot.
Yep.
And your reaction. You're all within 40 feet of him
Oh my god.
in some way, shape, or form.
Me.
True!
I need everybody to make a dexterity saving throw, because you hear him say, "Look up," and one of you just glances at the sky. Commander Morden looks up and goes, "Ranulph, are you mad?" And you look up at the sky and you can see rocks of fire falling down. And he has cast Meteor Swarm.
Ranulph
Well,
Ilvaster
Dex
is
save,
a
you said, yeah?
17th level wizard.
Yes. So I need all of you to make dexterity saving throws.
I get
Yikes.
advantage because of the Robe of the Archmagi. That was roll better.
Okay. Oriana?
15.
Fail. Howl?
19.
Fail. Génie?
Fail.
Alec?
15 as well, so fail.
Okay. You are all going to take the full amount of damage as meteors begin to land. Yes. You with evasion
Yes,
save for half.
full damage. Could I also technically blag Uncanny Dodge? Because it's an attack I can see.
Yeah.
Nice, so I'm going to half it again.
Oh no, it's not an attack. It's an area of effect. You're not the target of an attack. So you can't uncanny dodge.
But
you
the
can use
meteor
evasion.
is attacking her.
No.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
not.
come on, that is
Evasion is meant to be the version of
Alright,
uncanny dodge
so-
for spells.
You
falls
are,
over.
You
I was
are
attacked
going
by the
to
force.
take a lot of fire damage and a lot of bludgeoning damage.
If only...
Okay.
I was about to say, does this count as a non-magical attack?
No. this is
So-
definitely
Like, of
a
course
spell.
it doesn't. It's a 9th level spell.
I'm aware this might not work, but just as a long shot. Since I'm currently still grappling him down, is there any chance, seeing what's about to happen, I can grab him and like roll around so he's on top
Oh,
of
he's
me?
in the blast range as well. He's taking this damage
Okay.
as well.
Yeah,
Okay,
go
so you
nuts.
all take 65 points of fire damage.
Is the damage lessened because Ranulf
Nope.
Ilvast is on top?
Nah, I'm on top still.
We round down or up?
You round down. So that's
I am dead.
so that's the fire damage. Now the bludgeoning damage. You take
Wait, are they-
72 points of bludgeoning damage.
Yeah, I'm unconscious.
Wait,
I'm
So is that two separate
Nope.
instances of damage or just the one?
It's two separate instances of damage. One's fire, one's bludgeoning.
So if I go down from the first damage, does that cause
no.
a failed death save?
Yes, it does. The second one would cause a failed death
That's
save.
cool. So I'm down with one failed death save, gang.
Alright.
I feel like it doesn't work like that just because it's the one spell that's causing it.
That's a good point. I like that. Let's have let's have
You're
Miles's
cool,
ruling.
Liam.
No,
Cool,
I
let's
like
do
that.
that.
Let's have Miles's ruling because it was one spell. Both the damage would have been dealt simultaneously. Therefore, I will let you not have a thing on that. So
How
he
generous.
takes half. He takes the full amount of bludgeoning damage. Actually, no, I've not rolled for him. What am I saying? What did I say? Dex save.
Yeah.
He's going to choose to succeed.
Oh.
So he takes half damage, so he's going to take a quarter of the fire damage because he's resistant to fire. So what did I say for fire damage?
It was
65
65 fire.
36 and 72.
65 and 72 it was.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he will take half the fire. He takes a quarter of the fire damage. So 72, 36, 18 points of fire damage, and half the bludgeoning damage. 31. Okay. That's his turn. Alec,
I'm unconscious.
death saving throw, please.
Come on, natural 20.
Is anybody not unconscious?
That is not a natural 20. That's the opposite of what I wanted.
Oh no, is that a nat one?
That's a natural 1.
Okay, that's 2 failed death saves.
Ow. I'm dying. Really fast. Oh, it's fine. I'll come back.
Yeah.
Oriana.
I am still up.
So you can see that Commander Morden is unconscious. Thomas Blackwood has staggered off to one side. He is on fire, but you see him conjure his black magical Zentarim armor as Al-Zalam, the head of the Zentarim, and you can see that he looks at you as his black Zentarim mask pulls over and says, "We have to get them out of here." He said, and he will say, "I can shadow travel with 2 of them."
Would I be able to face step with someone?
I'm going to say that you can attempt to.
Okay. So what I will do then, in response to Thomas, Oriana will nod and say, "Get Howl and Génie. I'll get Alec."
Okay.
And before doing that, seeing that the healer's down, Oriana will use her action to give Génie a potion of healing.
Okay.
I think, what do I have? I know I have at least one.
This is the
You can
world's
take a
biggest
potion of
history.
superior healing.
Superior healing. So that's
Superior.
that's 8d4 plus 8 hit points you recover.
I have 6 of them.
I have another 2.
Am I
For
right?
some reason, the scroll wheel on my
Yeah.
map runs scroll and D&D Beyond.
All right.
Yeah, mine's broken as well. I think it's D&D Beyond.
Howl. Oh, sorry. So Oriana, that was your action to administer a potion
So
to
that's
someone
29
else.
points of healing. and then I will use my bonus action to attempt to face step out of there with Alec's body.
All right, I'd like you to make for me, please, a charisma check.
It's a 7.
Okay, you aren't able to face step this time with Alec. You sense you can keep trying, but you've only got as long as Alec stays alive. As being a lich, you know that if he dies, his body will disintegrate and he will reconstitute with his phylactery, which is somewhere in the Feywild.
He'll find his way back to the Feywild. At least then he'll know where it is.
Within 5 to 10 business days. The issue is that he will be without his time anchor and therefore not able to return to this particular point in history.
We really need to move that phylactery.
And he has 2 failed death saves.
Don't fail your next one.
It's fine. I have a portent roll left that's above a 10, and you can use portent on your own death saving throws, even though you are not a creature you can see making a saving throw.
Yeah, because it's like the whole idea of portent is you're predicting it, right?
Yes.
In advance. So like you're fine.
I remember.
Can't even heal you.
Your instinct to live.
I need Howl to make a death save.
Cool. So you don't add con to this, am I right?
Yes, you do.
Flat. Okay. So
you for death saves you don't. It's just
that was flat D10, D20.
D20 plus your con, isn't it?
No, it is a saving throw. So if you're a paladin, you get the paladin aura bonuses to your.
Does Génie not offer that aura?
Genie's cleric.
Does my cloak and ring of protection?
Anything that anything that adds a bonus to saving throws, you get with that. So if you roll the saving throw on, I think you can roll a death save through D&D Beyond that should take that into account. If not, you've got +2.
I don't see a button that's going to let me roll that. So I'm just going to roll a d20 and add 2.
D20 and add 2.
Yeah. Cool. Let's find out.
I really don't.
That's an 8.
Okay.
Can I give you inspiration?
You may give Howl your inspiration. Yes.
Am I re-rolling that then?
Yeah.
Lovely. Thank you. What a treat. Well, that's still an 8. It's the same roll.
Cool. All
Can I
right.
donate mine?
Yeah.
I'm fine. Wait, am I allowed to re-roll that again? Is that what we're doing?
Again.
You can
roll with a real dice. I think D&D Beyond's broken. I mean, everything is coming up below 10.
The last roll I rolled with a real dice was a 1.
So that's one failed save then, right?
That is indeed one failed save. Okay,
That's
Génie,
a corker.
you're back up with 29 hit points. What do you do?
Perfect. Just the moment I was waiting for.
All according to plan.
Everything
Waterdeep is
turning
on
up
fire.
your house. I can't heal one of my party because they're a stupid race or class or whatever it is. So I'm going to run over
was going to be a custom
Howl.
wisdom.
That's not nice.
What was that?
My watch said that's not nice.
I agree. I'm dead.
I'm going to run over to Howl.
So you see that Thomas is moving towards you and Howl as well.
I'm going to run over to Howl
I'm snorting.
at 6th, 7th, 8th level.
You have 8
Eight
level spells.
levels. This level 9 cleric has 9th level spells.
Oh, because you're...
No, I don't.
No, yeah, I was
I have
gonna say,
8th
no,
level
you don't.
spells.
You have 8 level spells, yeah, because
What?
you're a spellcaster with multi-classing spells. Okay.
I can cast up to 8th level, but I have, I think, up to 5th level spells.
Okay. What are you casting at 8th level?
Cure Wounds.
Alright, casting 8th level Cure Wounds on Howl.
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 D8.
I like that. That's nice.
Would my spiritual weapon still be up?
Yes, it is.
Okay. I'm also gonna hit the bad guy with that.
Alright, roll to hit.
How much am I healing for?
So the hitting of the damage was 14.
Well, have you hit him? That's...
You need to roll first.
Yeah,
That's how
of course I
combat
have.
game works.
No, I haven't. But I would have hit 14. Okay.
How much is Hal healing for?
I'll get there. 7, 14,
No rush. I'm just chilling.
7, 14, 21, 28, 38, 39, 46.
Big number. 46.
Plus 8. 46 plus 8.
Okay, so 54 you're healing
54. Cool.
You just saw me count.
That's over half
Real
of your
time.
hit points back, I think.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Right, you heal
cool.
for 54 hit points, and at this point, so Hal, you regain consciousness, take in a huge gasp of breath, and sit up. And you sit up to the sight of Thomas Blackwood in full black Zentarim armour, running at you both. He grabs both of your chests and pushes you both into the ground. And when you kind of hit, you expect to kind of like hit the ground and get the wind knocked out of you, you're sat on a sofa. And he's pushed you like into a sofa, both of you. And he's kind of just sat there breathing very heavily. Then he collapses.
Oh, bless.
Tuckered
himself out.
Back in the other world, Ranulph stands up and rounds on Oriana and Alec.
Oriana is very much standing protectively over Alec.
Okay. He's going to say, I know what he is, and I know what'll happen to him if I disintegrate him. Step aside, Oriana. I'll only warn you once.
For those who don't know.
Oriana will stand up very straight. Complete just cold look on her face as she just glares daggers at Ilvasta and will just sneer. My arrows don't miss.
Neither do my spells. And he's going to point at you. And I need you... he's pointing at you, he's about to cast a spell, he says, This is your last warning, Oriana. Step aside.
I'm no coward. I have met death once. I can do it again.
Make a Constitution saving throw.
I have advantage on these.
Yes! Okay.
Natural 20!
Yeah.
21.
Okay, that's not enough. The DC is 22.
Messed up.
Motherfucker.
This motherfucker has a robe of the Archmage.
So, you steel yourself, and you have never felt so tough. You are protecting your friend, you are doing exactly what you believe to do, and you steel yourself. The arc of black lightning flashes from his finger, catches you square in the chest, and you feel the pain coursing through you. Even though you are steeling yourself against it, it still hurts, and you take 53 points of necrotic damage.
I'm down.
No, you're not.
Interesting.
You slump to your knees and you can feel the energy coursing through you, but you feel it begin to direct itself, and it directs itself up the chain around your neck and into the wedding ring.
My boy.
And you succeed on the saving throw instead.
Oriana has legendary
Taking-
saves.
Feeling that,
Taking
Oriana...
half damage, so you're going to take 24 points of damage.
That's
It's
still
an attack
dead.
I can see. Can I further half
It's
that?
not an attack. It's the effect of the
Damn it.
spell.
How much damage?
24 hit points.
Okay. I'm on 1 hit point. Oriana will... kind of like coughing up a little bit of blood. She'll just laugh and look up at Ilvasta looking more alive than ever, and will just grin. I have a guardian angel. You don't.
We are still in initiative, right?
We are, so Alec, you need
Okay.
to make a death saving throw.
I'm going to use my portent, choose to succeed. Well, I say choose. I roll a 12, technically a 13,
Okay.
and succeed.
All right,
So
2 failures, 1 success.
yeah.
Oriana. It's now or never.
I believe in you, Oriana.
Shooting the bitch.
You look at him. He looks wounded, but you reckon that he's nowhere near the end of his mortal tenure. You're on 1 hit point. You can see that Alec is beginning to disintegrate, like parts of his skull are beginning to break away, and his flesh is beginning to melt off. This is your last chance to get out.
Please healing potion, mate. I'm dying here.
Yeah, I will jam a healing potion into Alec's mouth. I just kind of like level a glare at Elvasta. This isn't over. And I will attempt to face step out of there again with
Okay.
Alec.
How many hit points does Alec regain?
All.
Can Alec regain hit points from potions?
Yeah, potions don't have the qualifier on.
Cool.
Because Cure Wounds
Has
you
the-
can't
doesn't
heal
use
undead
undead,
with this.
Because it's a stupid class. Race.
We had to
Don't know what it
defeat a
is.
vampire.
You've got to stop saying that, Alistair, please. I'm begging.
Don't know what it is.
28.
Okay, you regain 28 hit points, Alec. And you want to face that? Make a charisma save. So
Yeah.
make a charisma check.
I really hope it succeeds because I've got some really terrible ideas if it doesn't.
Oh wait, I don't need to-
Natural 20
For
for 24.
Okay, Alec, you open your eyes. You see Oriana like throw the potion bottle aside. You can feel kind of bits of the potion dribbling. You see Oriana reach out to grab you. What happens, Oriana?
So obviously on one HP, Oriana will essentially just pull Alec into a hug, but also like half collapsing onto Alec, before just disappearing into a poof of red embers.
Okay, where does your face step reappear?
It's like 30 feet away.
Okay, so hidden and out, hidden and
yeah, hidden and out of the way.
So you know that there are like sewers running under
Mm-hmm.
the main streets of Waterdeep, and there are usually some cellars in adjacent buildings. Those that are still standing after the meteors blew out a whole like 80-foot sphere around the central area. But you reckon you could get underground if you wanted?
Yeah, just as far away in a place that isn't going to be disturbed anytime soon.
Okay, you teleport 30 feet down into a what appears to be like a walled-off cellar. So there is, you seem to have teleported into a room that has no windows or doors. You can see that there was a door and it's been bricked up. So you are
Excellent.
in that room. So with Oriana and it's pitch black in there, but I assume you both have dark vision.
Yeah.
I have true sight. Yeah.
So Oriana and Alec in a bricked up cellar somewhere beneath the streets of Waterdeep. Howl and Génie on a sofa somewhere. Chilling in the darkness. It is completely dark in here, and Thomas Blackwood passed out at your feet is where we're going to take our break. So
My music just finished. That was like perfect timing.
we're going to be back in about 10 minutes time, so do stick around, roleplay amongst yourselves for a while. We'll take a much needed break, and then we'll find out what happens in the aftermath of all of this nonsense. We'll see you shortly.
Teared up.
And so I told her that's. Oh, sorry.
Did you want to try that again?
No, it's fine.
All right. Okay. Howl and Génie, you are in a dark room. Do you both have dark vision?
Yes. Sorry, one moment.
Does Génie?
I tell you, I don't think I do.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I don't.
I don't think halflings do.
Howl, you know that you are not in the safe house in
Okay.
Camarsham. You are in the sitting room, the drawing room of Blackwood Manor.
Okay. Well, that's not what I expected. Okay. After that heal from Génie, I think Hal's kind of probably pretty coherent. He's more than half HP.
Yeah.
I can very clearly see Uncle Thomas unconscious on the floor, right?
Yep. He's breathing.
Yeah, cool. We're in the sitting room and the lights are dark. Is that appropriate for the time of day? I don't know what time of day it is right now.
Yes, it is night, and there are no lights on.
I'm
Okay.
going to pull out a baguette and cast a light on it and use it like a glow stick.
Okay.
Of course you are. Great.
You have
Please
been in
tell
this-
me you're going to crack the crust.
So you have, yeah, you got to like crack the crust slightly and shake it to get it to light up.
Spell casting focus. Bread.
Yes.
Génie, you have been here before. This is Howl's ancestral home.
Okay. Right. No one else is around, then I assume. We use mostly unseen servants, don't we? So.
You do.
Howl is going to call out, aware that he's probably going to awake his mother at this point. But I mean,
You are aware. Do you remember the size of your house?
Not exactly, but I know it's big. It's like
Yeah,
like a big manor.
It's a mansion, and you know from when you were a kid that shouting in the drawing room doesn't do anything for people upstairs.
Cool. In that case, Howl is going to call out and say, "If any of you servants are around at the moment, we could do with some medical attention. I assume you're capable of that."
Okay. All of the gas lights flick on.
I look at my glow stick and like, well, this was useless, and I put it back in my bag.
And you see Thomas is rolled over onto his side.
I'm gonna go up and do some healing.
Okay. Make a medicine check for me before you do any healing.
Nine.
Okay, carry
Um. Sorry. I'm gonna do cure wounds, 3rd level.
on. Okay.
I thought I was the sick one today.
You've passed it down the microphone.
I hope not. That'd be terrifying.
It's a cough I've had for weeks, and I thought I'd got rid of it. That is 14, 16 points of healing.
Okay. He recovers 16 hit points, but does not wake up.
That would probably strike as quite alarming, right?
It depends. Like, he looks. His eyes are moving such that you think he's passed out and is in a state of very deep sleep. Low hit points isn't the problem. It's that his mind is trying to recover.
Okay.
You're confident that he will wake up. You just know that he will need to rest.
Knowing the things that I do, would I gather that this is likely a exhaustion thing? Like this is a
Yes, I think so.
cool. Okay.
A door opens and closes.
Okay.
Who's
Howl's... It'll just be the unseen servants, Génie. This entire manor is operated by spirits and ghosts, so...
You can... You just, given where we just were, you cannot be together. Carry on.
Well, I think if anything were to enter here that wasn't supposed to be, I'd like to think that I'd know. Right, we need to find out. Last thing I saw, Lord Ilvast was throwing the hissy fit of the century and then summoned meteors. Do we know where Alec and Oriana are? Did they also get out, or did you see more than I did?
Did I see Oriana try and phase step before I was healed?
Yeah.
Yes, you did, and you
Or
saw
after
that
I was healed?
Yeah, and you saw that she was unsuccessful.
I think they are trying to escape. So hopefully they have done, but we cannot know for sure. We can try and message them, but I do not have sending.
Can I pull up the time anchors on
Yeah.
presumably on my wrist?
Alex, amazing wristwatch.
Hal's gonna grumble at it and say, as much as I'm beginning not to trust this thing as much as I used to, I'm going to see if there's anything I can do about this. And I'm gonna just literally start whacking buttons on it and see if there's any way on it of communicating with.
All right, you pull up the menu, and your most used app is your meditation app that helps you sleep or alerts you to your friends being kidnapped, whichever is more necessary at the time. You see that there is a communicator app on there as well. What would Alec have named this group chat app?
I'll let you know that the Apple one is called Walkie Talkie.
It's called Lamp Chat currently. It's got to be it has to be rebranded anyway before the mass market launch.
It's got like a lamp emoji
definitely
next
has
to
to
it.
be rebranded. No, because the light app has the lamp on it. So it has like a ascending stone on it.
Nice.
Okay.
Could it be 2 cups with string?
Well, I was gonna say it has a phone on it, but obviously not
you
been
press
invented
it,
yet.
and you can see that there are 3 other active Alex anchors. The one that Génie owns, the one that Alec owns, and the one that Oriana owns.
Okay.
Do you end up just talking to me at first?
Well, no, but would they show as inactive if that person were dead, or would that just be their time anchor is still working?
It still exists.
Okay, that's not good enough for Howl. Can I try and use it to communicate?
Yeah, so you can tap on any combination thereof to create a out loud, so this is not in your head, it's out loud, Rary's telepathic bond link for as long as you have the app open, but it isn't silent.
Cool. Howl's gonna tap everyone other than Génie, basically, or the other 2, basically, and speak into it and say, please tell me you're both still alive, or as close to alive as Alec can be.
In a bricked up cellar beneath the streets of Waterdeep, Oriana and Alec, you are recovering slightly from what happened, and the anchors on your wrists begin to flash. On it is a picture of Howl, and his eyes are flashing like in Thunderbirds.
That sounds like something Alec would do. Hello.
Now, it is also a camera, so you just kind of see Alec's mouth.
Howl's like when your dad takes a selfie and it's like Howl's looking down like that. Cool. Howl's
I disable my camera.
move your face away from the time anchor. Cool.
I'd chug a health potion.
You may.
Thank you.
Howl's going to speak into it and say, thank the gods you're not, dust right now, Alec. What happened? That got out of hand.
You know that Oriana's one is still trying to connect.
Oh, 1 second. I put it on speakerphone, and then I remove Oriana from the call. There you go. Should be able to hear now.
Yep, I'm here. Somehow alive.
Where is Ia?
Génie and Howl sharing one of them. We're stood around one.
We're in
About 30 feet under Waterdeep.
Oh. Well, I mean, that's better than the grave. Why are you underneath Waterdeep?
safe.
You saw what happened?
I mean, I didn't see a lot of it, honestly. Once the meteors started falling, that was kind of it for me, frankly.
Can you get
Yeah,
out
I
of
was
there?
the only one still alive after that.
Well, very good. What a time to flex on us, Oriana. What happened?
Can you get out of there?
Yeah, I got a teleport left. I guess
There
we
you
need
go.
guys back. Where are you anyway? You in the safe house?
Oh, we're at the Blackwood Manor. Of all places.
We're in my family's sitting room. I think Uncle Thomas teleported myself and Génie here, and then
Yep.
seemed to pass out. He seems stable, but could be better.
I mean,
I
we all
think
just
I'd rather
hit
be
my
in his
knee.
condition, I will not lie.
Yeah, I think I have like 20 broken ribs.
Well, I mean, frankly, it's probably best if you get out of there for now. Then we should probably try and find out what's going on with the rest of Waterdeep. I know we had Lord Ilvaster sort of deposed and all, but that was, I don't know, disproportionate.
Yeah, there's some weird shit going on with him. As much as I'd love to get out of Waterdeep right now, call it a hunch, but there's something in Waterdeep Castle that I need to get to. I don't know what, but there's something there that we need to see.
Okay, can I make a suggestion that you at least come here for now? We rest and then go back. I don't like how close we were then just to being annihilated by Lord Ilvaster.
We could always... I've got checks spell slots. At least 1 5th level spell slot left. So I could scry on Lord Ilvaster, see what he's up to. If he's still in Waterdeep Castle, we come to you. If not, we could all... I'm not sure how we're planning on getting out of this basement otherwise.
Hang on.
But
Basement? That's not a bad idea. DM, do I know whether my messed up father's occult basement would have any way of scrying? I feel like it probably would, right? Like an orb or something?
There's a scrying orb in there.
Can I, still on call, be like, give me a minute, and then kind of like scramble down to the, the most traumatic basement ever?
Yeah, so you exit through the door into the main hall, you cross the hall, and you can see that upstairs a door has just opened and closed, and you know that to be your mother's room. The door is open and closed in the way that the unseen servants do it, just kind of like quite pointedly and matter-of-factly. You think one of them may have gone to wake her up. You cross the hall, and on the other side of the hall to the drawing room, behind the staircase, you enter the chapel, and in the chapel you sit down at the organ, push your cloak out behind you, and start playing the organ, and the organ descends as you play.
I love the idea of like the rest of the party hearing like how give me a minute, the like telltale rustling noises, and then there's just like organ playing. Like, what is that all doing?
That's just mute that. Unmute. No, he's still playing. Mute again.
And then after
Oriana's there just holding her head like, ow.
And then after a few minutes, you reach the bottom and you feel safe. Well, do you carry on playing, or do you stop playing as soon as you hit the bottom?
Do you finish the piece? That's what he's asking.
The moment Hal has done what he needs to activate the mechanism, Hal is going to stop and kind of quite embarrassedly grumble into the time anchor and say, "Listen, I was always trained more as a violinist rather than a organ player, so please don't hold that against me too much. Trying times come to different measures. Thank you very much. I'm going somewhere with this. Please
make a charisma saving throw."
Is it a piece I recognise?
If it was put there by Keaton Blackwood, Hal's father, it would be the most morbid and depressing thing possible. That's a 16 on charisma saving throw.
Okay.
Not then.
You hark back to a time that you there is a piano, or there was a piano in Genie's lamp, and you had been teaching Silshard how to play piano.
Oh.
And you remember, this would be a good piece to teach Silshard.
When he gets back from the farm.
Yeah, when Silshard gets back from the big abyss in the sky, not anything else.
It's just when he's done counting the flowers, it's fine.
Oh, good God. Anyway, so obviously this basement's full of horror.
It is, yes.
It's full of horrible shit.
It is. So you are in a 30-foot square room. In it are there are bloodstains on the floor. There is a huge kind of occult cultist circle. There are skulls and red candles and all of the creepy crap that one would expect to find in the basement of a man who tried to do many deals with demons and devils in order to advance his own interests.
Pretty cringe if you ask me, but hey.
There is on one shelf a little pedestal, and on that pedestal is a glass orb that will allow you, once you touch it, your mind will go into it, and you can cast it on a target, and then you can move around quite freely after you've done that.
I am going
to be on a location though.
but you become unconscious for the duration of the time that you are in the.
Cool. I'm going to kind of grab it off the shelf without using it, and speak again into the time anchor and say, so I have an orb of scrying right now, which could at least mitigate the use of a spell slot for you, Alec. I don't know exactly how this works, but I think it's probably within my capabilities to try, if you wanted me to find out, or attempt to, where Lord Ilvasta is.
I know how to scry. I do not know at this very moment. Do you want me to use the orb?
I mean, hey, as long as someone can do it, right?
Yeah, do you know whereabouts what you need to find in Castle Waterdeep is, Oriana?
I know the corridor.
Well, that narrows it down.
I mean, how about we
hang
start
on,
with just
let
finding
me-
out...
I'll turn on to front-facing camera mode.
Oh my God.
I'll draw from memory a map of
Yeah, 'cause you can
Castle
do that.
Waterdeep.
Well, the bits of
I'm
it
like,
you've seen, the castle is huge. We're talking like, it is in itself a small enclosed town. The castle is huge. You have not been to every room by any stretch of that. If you imagine like all of Whitehall, so the kind of like 2 or 3 square miles of buildings, and how intricate those buildings are, and the fact that there is more of Whitehall under the surface than there is above the surface, all of that is Castle Waterdeep.
yeah, it's like I've been in the House of Lords chamber and like the PM's office.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
But I'll like draw
Yeah, but you had to get there.
the area around the like
The council chamber.
the council chamber, and I'll be like, is it near this?
Yeah, it's around the council chamber.
Okay.
From the conversation that Oriana had with Mirror Sam, would she know that it was in that area?
Make an intelligence check now that you've had some time.
That's an 8.
Okay. You remember that Sam had some affectations when he used to speak. He enjoyed talking with his hands. And the motion that he made is the motion that he always made when he was looking for the word unlock.
So it's just a locked door. Somewhere.
Again, if I may, I might suggest starting with finding out where Lord Ilvasta is. I have a horrible
Yeah.
feeling he might have just continued his rampage. It did seem, again, like a tantrum more than anything. I don't like the idea of Waterdeep just being razed to the ground.
I don't think he'd burn the city down. I think if from what I've seen of this petulant child with godlike powers, he's probably just gone back to his office and sat down. He doesn't strike me as a hard worker.
We can find him, then we can see if the pathway is clear and if we have time.
I mean, hey, I have an orb of scrying. I if I'm not mistaken, I'm sure Alec will correct me if I'm wrong, we can just scry again, right? We could scry on Lord Ilvasta, and then scry some more until we have the necessary information, and...
The spell can only be done once every 24 hours if they...
Yeah, I imagine
don't.
the magic item will also have a once you have used this magic item, you can only use it again after dawn.
Is that your impression of me?
Well,
What
that
have you
was my
decided to
impression
do?
of D&D rulebooks.
We're mulling over what to scry on and how.
I think scry on Lord Ilvasta, find out where he is. If he's
Let's go from there, maybe. Let's
if he's
just do that
moving
and
about
see.
Castle Waterdeep, we can come back later. If he's stationary in one room, we can have me and Oriana can get out of this basement, have a preliminary. Sorry,
Preliminary.
he pulls out like a broken tooth. Preliminary investigation, and if anyone spots us, I can still teleport us out.
Okay.
I mean, that works for me. So who's doing this? And Hal's just gonna be like holding this like horrid orb. Like,
I've scratched before, so I'll do it.
Okay.
Hal will just kind of like toss the orb of scrying to Génie.
All right. Génie,
Very expensive orb.
Make a dexterity saving
come
throw
from
to
the-
try and catch it.
Like, we come from a rich family. I'm sure I have more.
You know you don't.
Yeah.
You remember that after you've thrown it.
Just don't roll a 1.
What do I need?
What did you get?
That's not how this works, Alistair.
Saving throw.
Yeah.
Be an 11.
All right, you catch it.
Cool.
Oh, okay. Excellent.
All right. What are you scrying on?
I'm gonna scry because it lasts for 10 minutes.
Yep.
Would I know that this orb is it any different to the spell, or does it just do
yes.
exactly the
So
spell?
this is indefinite. Once it's active, it's active. It's also the case that so the scry spell creates an invisible sensor, and that sensor can be seen by creatures with true sight. Casting it with this orb doesn't. Once you've cast it with this orb, you can essentially no clip throughout all of space.
Hey.
But you remain unconscious for the duration. So the longer you stay in there, the longer your physical body is unconscious. So you have to come out of it to eat, and so on.
Genie's going into creative mode.
Essentially. Okay.
I like.
So you.
Yeah, I'll start on.
So you have to give a location. You can't scry on a person with this. You have to go with a location.
Given how long it's been, I'll go with the last point that I knew white-robed evil man was.
Okay, which is outside Castle Waterdeep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Has he got a hood?
Yes.
Risky territory, then.
It's not pointed. It's a very flat
The
hood.
hood is a flat gold hood because the robe is white with gold trim.
Okay. I'll start there, and I'm gonna. If he's not there
Mhm.
or within sight, I'm looking around for like evidence of people following him, or
Okay.
I'm assuming he's gone back in towards the castle, but that sort of.
You scry and appear outside Castle. I think I said Ravenloft then. Waterdeep.
I was thinking
Whoa.
Ravenloft as well.
That's the wrong castle.
You appear
That's the
outside
wrong campaign.
outside Castle Waterdeep. You see that there are buildings all around that have been destroyed by these meteors that fell. A lot of it is on fire. There are huge pockmarked craters in the ground. You can see that most of the staircase that goes up towards the castle is shattered. Commander Morden is lay on the ground, not moving.
PR nightmare.
A
Looking
lot
deaded.
of the citizenry that had assembled are also on the ground, charred remains or buried under rubble. You don't have you can, if you want, go and search the bodies, but you aren't able to actually interact with anything. You can see that the fire has spread and is beginning to spread further into the castle ward. There are firefighters, and the Watchful Order of Mages and Protectors are like waving in loads of water from the harbour and trying to marshalling it to put out the fires across the city. And there is still a column of smoke from where the lamp blew up and is smouldering from the other side of the city. But you can distinctly see where that column of smoke from where Génie's lamp used to be silhouetted against the sky. It is still night here, although it's coming towards dawn where you all are, but it's still early hours of the morning.
That's the conversation we've never had. What's the? Is there like a
There are time
single
zones, yeah.
time? Is there a single time zone? One
There are
Toril is
many
round.
times.
Toril is round, and I rule that pretty much all of this continent is over like 3 or 4 time zones. It's not a huge amount because there is a lot to the rest of the world. However, that there are time zones in this.
Sword Coast time.
Yeah, compared to Cormyr time, which is
SCT.
what you're on.
Well, it would
TG.
be. I assume it would be like WMT because Waterdeep would be. they
Waterdeep
would
has
have
its
their-
own time zone that's like
Right.
5 minutes ahead
Oh!
of the rest of the Sword Coast.
and they do like
They don't
their
observe
clocks go
daylight
back
saving.
and forward.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
It's-
So say theirs go
Only
back
our
on a
party-
different week to Netherwinter.
Only
What?
our
Is
party
it-
would have this crisis and then go, but do time zones exist, Dan? Explain the time zones, Dan.
Well, is it like in some of the larger states where they ignore time zones
It's
when it spreads over?
Yeah, when you commute between cities, you have to change your watch because some cities observe daylight savings and some don't.
One of those corpses could well be Ben. Please, I don't care about the time zones.
So,
Scry.
interesting fact: China is actually covering 4 time zones, but it has 1 time zone.
Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth.
No word of a lie. It can be midday in Beijing and midday, like a third of the world around, where it should be like 8 in the morning, but it's not. It's midday.
If you are really interested in time zones, there's a great old video Tom Scott did where he goes mental about time zones.
Really? Ooh.
Yeah, it's
Please.
like
I am so
talking about a
distressed.
theoretical app that tells, like, you type in like your location and it tells you how long it's been since a certain date, and then it's basically a list of all of the odd time zones and all of the odd things throughout history to do with like dates and time. It's actually really interesting. It's also nothing to do with D&D.
Please.
Well, I was going to say I listened to a podcast about why we have time zones.
Does the
And
Ben
it's-
beef jerky potential mean nothing to you?
Okay, so
This is also an interesting fact.
So-
We have time
so-
zones because we're British guys.
So Génie is kind of. I'm gonna allow in this instance for Génie to be relating to Howl what he can see, and Génie is just going off on one about time zones. Instead of a lot of the
Meanwhile,
crowd are dead. I don't know where Ben is. Anyway, time zones, and you can hear through the wristwatch.
The orb is going to be going towards the castle.
Yeah, and you can hear this through the wristwatch. So Alec is joining in. So all of that conversation is happening in character.
I'll find the podcast and share it. It's actually really interesting.
So
Shut your mouth and
you
find
you,
this
have,
man.
you send the orb towards the castle. There is currently no sight of Ilvasta. The castle is now has been sealed off. There are elite guards standing guard outside of it, and you can see that they are beginning to erect magical shields across all of the entrances. You, however, using this spell, are free to pass through walls if you wish. Where are you going with the scry?
I guess in the general direction of how quick am I moving in the sky? Is it like, can I go much faster than somebody would walk or something?
No, you travel at 20 feet, 20 feet around, so 20 feet over 6 seconds. So it's slightly slower than walking pace.
I'm going to try and head, like, following the corridors that I think it would take towards his office, but, like, I'll skip corners where I can.
Yeah.
Go through.
You can
walls and
go
just-
through walls.
I know, but I want to try and catch him up
Okay.
in case he then doesn't actually go to his office and goes somewhere else.
You get to his office and you see that he's already in there. And if you're relating this to the party, you would all be able to deduce that it's likely that he can teleport around Castle Waterdeep or around Waterdeep itself.
Is that like only Dumbledore can apparate inside
Exactly,
Hogwarts?
sort of thing.
Yeah.
So he is in his office, and he is speaking to someone who is appearing as a magical projection. He is speaking to the Queen of Cormyr.
Ah, of course he is, bastard.
Knew
What's he
it!
saying? What's he saying?
She says, I'm a little distressed at how quickly you decided to rain down meteors on your own city, Ranulph. I had no other choice. Those meddling heroes were getting in the way. Besides, a few rumours here, a few casts of mass suggestion. Gods, I love that staff. And the entire city will soon believe that they were responsible. I'll see to the Council of Masked Lords. I'm sure there'll be some procedural irregularity in their voting. Or perhaps we'll unmask one of the lords. Pretend that it was a hoax. There are some that we can throw away. None of your political scheming is going to be of much good, Ranulph, if we aren't able to see through our plan. Plan be damned! Don't you see I was nearly deposed this evening? All the power that we've worked for collectively, Raedra. Your Majesty is almost run out. Those heroes were so close to taking everything away from me. Lord Ilvaster, remember who it was who gave you that power in the first place. Our patron will not be happy if you deviate any further from his plan. Patron be damned! Ranulph.
Say his name.
He says, what would it matter anyway? Bringing them here? You think that it'll end there? We may as well just cut our losses now, Raedra, and run. Your Majesty is how you will address me. I won't say it again, Ranulph Ilvaster. I gave you everything you needed in order to sit where you sit now in that office. Those meddling heroes are nothing. Throwaways. Footnotes in history if we play our cards right. And you, Ranulph, are just prepared to throw everything we've achieved away because you can't deal with the fact that there are people out there who are possibly stronger than you. Don't be a baby anymore, Ilvaster. The end is almost upon us. It's only another few days, and then the portal to the Far Realm will open and the Nilshai will pour through. Their only hope now would be to find Bryn and that book. And I have sent enough agents to find him and find the book. We'll find him before those heroes even get an opportunity to. I wouldn't be so sure, Raedra. They're cunning, they're sneaky. We should have had them put to death when we had the chance. I can't believe you let them get away from that library. I've had enough of this conversation. Lord Ilvaster, from now on you're on your own. I won't protect you. Cormyr won't protect you. You're power hungry, you're mad. But I will say this. When they realise that all you were in it for was the power, when they realise that you had no power of your own, no ambition of your own, that all you were was a cog in a machine, when they, those troublesome heroes as you refer to them, realise that in reality you're as much a pawn in my scheme as they are, well, at least they'll be in a good company of nobodies. They thought you had a plan. They thought you were plotting. They thought you were scheming. They thought you were intelligent. Ranulph, you're nothing. Just like them. And when the end comes, when Waterdeep is buried underneath all of its own rubble, when the Nilshai have come and taken their rightful place as the rulers of this plane of existence, then you'll see that really all of you are worthless, all of you are meaningless, all of you who pretend to have power. But I will make sure that you see the ruin of Waterdeep. I'll make sure that those heroes see all of their friends and family burn. I'll give you that. And then when they are thrown out of this world, cast adrift into endless nothingness, when they've done their penance, maybe it's at that point that the Nilshai will permit them to see in reality what I've always seen. Heroes are worthless. Adventuring is pointless. And all of existence will come crashing down because I will it. At which point the magical illusion disappears. Ranulph is seething in anger, and he picks up an ornament on his desk and throws it at you, Génie. He's throwing it at just anywhere, but it happens to be where you're standing, and it kind of comes at you, goes through you, and crashes behind you. He waves a hand, and you can see that he's casting a sending spell, and he says out loud, "Put the city on lockdown. Those heroes, if they're still in the city, aren't getting anywhere. Find anyone associated with them. Arrest them. Find out what they know, and if they won't tell you, kill them. Start with those kids." Then he begins writing something on his desk.
Are we able to communicate with each other while Genie's in this orb still, or can Génie just talk to us?
Génie can't really communicate much, but
I'm just talking while I'm there.
Yeah.
So you guys can communicate, but I can't hear.
Yeah.
And were we able at all, obviously, with that to see what was going on through Génie there?
You could see it, but not hear it through the thing.
I slightly paraphrased what they said in a French accent.
Yeah.
Okay. So would I be aware? Would Génie have described whether or not Lord of Us was writing something or not, or?
Yeah, I
can
want to
see it in the orb.
I want to see what he's writing.
Yeah, I'm thinking when we get closer.
Okay. You can see that he is signing a deed, assuming absolute control over Waterdeep, and actioning emergency powers that disband the Council of Mass Lords.
Yo, he's Palpatining the shit. Oh no.
Well,
Oh good God, Kazir was Jar Jar. Oh no.
well, no, because Jar Jar gave Chancellor Palpatine.
Yeah, this is why it's happening. It's not the same
Because
way.
he was
but-
anti-Jar Jar.
Kazir
Rad
was Darth.
No.
Kazir was Darth Jar Jar. No.
Have I heard the name Nilshai before? Also,
Yes,
how is it
you
spelled?
may all make history or arcana checks.
Yeah, I would really love to do that because that seemed important.
Yeah, I'm gonna make an Arcana check. I don't know if that means I get different information.
I made Arcana and got 17.
5 on the history.
This is Miles be like, you fool, you've let me roll Arcana.
13.
Arcana 35.
Whoa!
With a 20.
That's filthy.
Wow.
Okay. Only Alec has heard of Nilshai.
Oh my god.
Makes sense.
Doesn't surprise me.
Tell me the lore, Dan.
The Nilshai are strange and sorcerous aberrations natives to some distant dimension of the ethereal plane. They are occasionally called ethereal thurges by star elves. They have you don't know if anyone has ever seen one in recent memory, but they are malevolent alien beings that dwell on the ethereal plane. They occasionally are rumoured to have entered the material plane on expeditions to seize lore, slaves and magic. They always desire to conquer new realms and planes for their own alien kind, and they have sought out and even paid highly for king's tears on the chance that they may contain star elf lore.
You're telling me that it wasn't Lord Ilvasta, it wasn't, well, it kind of still is Raedra, but wasn't exactly Raedra, it was goddamn aliens the entire time, Dan?
You know, with the 35, that the Nilshai have something to do with star elves, and the former plane of Sildior, which...
What the fuck am I spelling that?
SIL D E diaresis YUIR.
Can you write that down for me?
An E with 2 dots over it.
Okay, so SILDE with the dots.
YUIR.
YUIR. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be able to pronounce that.
Just
Which
when I thought... Sorry, God.
you know that there were elves from there who went to who were rumoured to have entered Faerun and then travelled to Evermeet.
I recognise Evermeet and
Well,
Faerun.
yeah,
Otherwise,
It is a bit like the elf names thing.
This is a name that it's like you read about this in a book years ago, and you have never had any reason to use this information ever. These things are so rarely mentioned that it's possible that you've read the only book on it.
Yeah,
sure it wasn't in the last 30 days.
It's like a less well-known version of Atlantis.
Yeah.
Like, I can't think of any actual examples. But
Precursor civilizations, I suppose.
text was written in cuneiform form. Travelled to.
Just when I thought this campaign couldn't get any cooler, Dan throws goddamn aliens into the mix, and I am so invested. I'm right here. Let's go.
Oh my god.
Do you relate any of that out loud, Alec?
Yes.
Okay, Oriana, I'll tell you what you know about star elves.
Excellent.
So star elves are a race of elves that spent around 2,000 years hidden in an extra-planar area they called Sildur before travelling back to Faerun. It is believed that they were exiled somehow from that plane, and when they came to Faerun, they ended up in the Yarwood and then moved to Evermeet. They look very similar to moon elves, but they're aloof and cautious. And they had no contact with other elvish civilizations for quite a while. And then when they arrived in Faerun, they moved very quickly to Evermeet, and there is a large star elf community on Evermeet.
Interesting. Oriana would relay that information.
They're also believed to have predicted the spell plague.
That's pretty big.
Of course they did.
I think Howl is probably, having this been relayed, Howl is probably completely baffled. I really didn't expect this to go in this direction.
Neither did the DM.
Excellent.
In my brain, I thought you were doing a voice. I was like, is this one of the unseen servants? Be like, damn, really wild.
Radolf Ilvast is in the room. Only hope.
Okay,
Can I float around to where the dungeons should be?
Yeah.
Can I see any children?
No.
For God's sake.
Can I check in the dungeons?
Yep.
Like in the cells?
Yep. There are no one in the cells. His order hasn't yet been actioned. You're also aware that Jarlaxle is likely hiding.
I just
everyone.
I just wanted to check they didn't already have them. Can I sort of look around for like armories, staff rooms, sort of like to see if there's like people suiting up and getting ready?
Yeah.
And like if there's one in charge, and see if I can see who that is now that I know Mordrin or
Warden.
is no longer heading up.
You can see that there is someone that you don't recognise that you've never seen before suiting up, but as you go down one particular corridor, you do a bit of a double take because you see Cassius walking the other way.
I follow Cassius.
Not dead. Yeah.
Okay. You follow Cassius and you can see that he is limping. And you can see that he is cradling one arm in a bandage.
Is he being allowed freely around the castle? Or is he
Yes.
stealthily?
He's moving reasonably freely, but you get the sense that no one else can see him.
Is he moving in a way that he is invisible, but still trying to avoid?
Yeah.
Okay.
Howl relaying this information to Oriana and Alec.
I'm not the one scrying, it's Génie.
You can see it
I'll
through
be
the
set.
orb.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I see. In that case, then yeah, I absolutely will be. Yeah.
Can Oriana attempt to buzz Cassius on the sending stone?
Yep.
She's literally just like buzzing it to test it, like not saying anything, just seeing if like
blow his
he'll
cover.
respond to it.
There is reception.
Cassius, are you there?
Still alive, are we?
Instantly dropping it.
Okay.
I'm going to cast the spell sending. Oh,
Oriana
actually
will
wanna
relay
say
that
stuff?
Cassius
Yes.
doesn't have the sending stone.
what? Before I talk to him, what do we actually want to say? I don't want to come up with a message and then be told it's the wrong message.
Well, let's
You say that like that's happened before.
wait until we know where he's going.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say we could probably try and get him to meet us somewhere, and then I could teleport him out with us.
Excellent point.
Yeah, if you suggest that, Howl's gonna be like, yeah, he looks a little off. I don't want him being stuck there.
He looks a little injured, you should be saying.
Génie,
Yeah.
you can see that he is making his way towards one of the side exits of the castle.
So he's looking to escape rather than...
Yes.
Okay. What was he doing in the castle?
I could ask him to meet us outside the Master Lord's chamber. Because if he's invisible, he can stay that way for at least well, at most an hour, I should say.
Can I...
Be being invisible. Do we have the spell slots for that? Because if we just go in there as is, someone's going to see us.
Yes, I have 2 third level spell slots left. I have 3 fourth, so I can cast the invisibility at third to cast it on both of us. How are we getting out of the basement?
That was going
That's
to be
the
my
problem.
next thing. Can I know roughly that they went down 30 feet. I don't know where they were when they did it. Can I go back and try and find the room they're in?
No. Oh, yeah, because you can go through solid objects. Yes, you can find them.
Okay, and then it might take a while, but can I try and find a route out?
So, poking your head, kind of, your scrying head through the various walls, including the bricked up door, you can see that it's pretty much solid rock and collapsed rubble for a great distance. You wouldn't be able to manually get out of here. You will have to. They will have to teleport out.
Being as I'm still in,
You've now lost sight of Cassius. However, you don't know where Cassius has gone.
Yeah.
I can ghost walk out of here, but that leaves you behind.
can I search through the basement?
With me.
I want to see if there's any spell scrolls or anything that I could. I know that we have a teleport circle in Blackwood Manor, but I don't know if I could do anything about that. Is there anything I can find that's useful in here?
Make an intelligence investigation check.
I'll go back and find Cassius if I can.
I could use my spell slot to teleport us out of the basement, and then use the spell's teleportation circle to teleport us to Blackwood Manor. But that does mean that I won't be able to teleport us out if we get into trouble, because teleportation circle, I believe, is a 1 minute casting time.
It's 10, I think.
Ritual cast, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
I rolled a 16, by the way, then.
Okay. You do find a couple of spell scrolls for kind of like lower level spells. You also find
Wish.
Lower level spell, Wish. Good God.
No, this was the also find.
Okay, yeah.
You find some lower levels, and also this one.
Well, I'm just like,
huge- and it's been photocopied 7 times.
Hal's dad was a slippery fella, to say the least. I reckon it'd be something, maybe, if we look hard enough, like, just depends if it's applicable to this situation,
Do you think is he slippery in that he would have wish spells that aren't quite correct? It's like
I don't think he'd have wish. He wasn't that powerful, like, but it was,
Gosh.
Are they like wish versions of wish spells?
Well, I mean,
AliExpress or
again, Hal's dad, Keaton, was all about, like, trying to preserve his own legacy and cementing himself and becoming powerful, Not that he did a very good job of it, and was just kind of a bastard in the end, but there would
Is he
definitely be
gonna have
occult items and stuff down here that could be helpful.
You find
is he going to have a staff?
you find a spell scroll of transport via plants.
Explain that one to me, DM.
The spell creates a magical link between a large or larger inanimate plant within range and another which is 10 feet, and another plant at any distance on the same plane of existence. You must have seen or touched the destination plant at least once before. For the duration, any creature can step into the target plant and exit from the destination plant by using 5 feet of movement.
Okay.
So is it us to there? Or
I'm
there
going to rule that it's
to
both.
us? Okay.
How
So
long-
just touch a plant in the Blackwood Manor.
So,
But
hang on,
it has to be a plant. But it only
It's a plant in Waterdeep.
Yeah, he would need to name a plant in Waterdeep and a plant in Blackwood Manor, and those two plants would be linked for 1 round.
So, what,
6
like a whole
seconds.
6 seconds?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Okay.
There were trees, I think, near where Genie's lamp was.
There was a tree near where somebody got buried. Because they were hidden it.
Yes, there we
Yeah.
know there are trees and a group of sort of. It was like a small kind of woodland area, I guess, near the cemetery where Hal was buried that one time when he died. Okay, so Hal's basically going to explain that
There are
rummaging
also
around,
like flowers over Howell's grave.
we're all going to burst out of Hal's grave.
I thought we were going into Hal's grave.
Yeah, you go with the tree. It's got to be a large object.
This
Right.
is a real reach here. Looking at the art you posted, Tony,
Yeah.
the necklace that Oriana's wearing, like the designs look
rings.
leaf-like. Are they engraved leaves or are they actual leaves?
They're
That's
metal
absurd.
leaves.
Well, there's my.
And
my
Oriana
deep
would
dive.
not have let anyone touch them.
Okay. Hal's going to go, hey, this seems like a. Could go very wrong very easily, but it's another option thing. Is there any way on the time anchor I can show the scroll to Alec in such a way that Alec could, in theory, copy down? Okay.
You would need the actual scroll.
Can you fax it?
Also, I would
Kind of
need
fax it.
He would need
like
quite a lot of
2
rare inks
hours
and some
per
time.
level.
Yeah.
Like, copying spells is not a quick process.
What would you like to do?
I mean,
Right. We obviously can't stay in Waterdeep, so we go into the castle, find the room, find Cassius, and then Hal teleports us from his grave or a tree, whichever, to Blackwood Manor. That gets us out. We still need to find Brim. That gives us something to do.
Can I run upstairs before we make a decision? I want to see if.
So
Uncle
to get back
Thomas-
upstairs, you have to sit at the organ and play.
Oh, God.
And it takes
For God's
it takes
sake.
5 minutes to ascend.
I just want to see if Uncle Thomas has got showing if we've got any time estimate. Do I know?
are there
You're playing
Any-
like the minute waltz very quickly.
are there any holes in the basement that a small animal could get through?
No.
What?
Thomas was very deliberate. Not Thomas,
Not-
sorry. Keaton was very deliberate about this being a
No,
completely
no,
sealed chamber.
The basement that we're in.
Oh, the urine. Sorry.
Yes.
Possibly, but you don't know what's beyond them.
Okay.
I'm busy looking for Cassius again. I'm not going
All right. So you go back and you start scouring the castle for Cassius. You can go back to where he was and then make for me, please, a survival check at disadvantage, and to see if you
invisible?
can. No, because you haven't seen all of the castle before. To see if you can predict where he's going.
Okay. I have a 5.
14.
Okay. You manage to catch up with him. He is nearly at the exit.
I have a 500 IQ play for how we get out of the basement, right? So Oriana's ghost walk lets her take equipment with her.
Yep.
She has a backpack. If I was inside that backpack, completely sealed inside, would I be able to be counted as an object she is carrying?
If you were inanimate, yes.
Ah,
Interesting.
okay.
Do you have true polymorph?
Don't have true. I only have. That's a 9th level, though. I don't have.
How long does true polymorph last?
Forever.
Yeah.
Well, it lasts forever if it lasts for its duration. Okay.
No, you would have to be inanimate.
Okay.
And or, I mean,
Can you
there is a
identify
very
as
easy
well?
option for Alec to get out of the basement.
Yeah, but all my stuff stays in the
Does
basement.
it
Also,
involve
like,
death?
Your stuff is inanimate. I can take it out.
okay, then you have to find me in the Feywild.
I don't want to play that.
Yeah,
game,
no.
Good God.
The fucking Feywild adventure.
This is why it's still a
that's next
consequence if Alec dies, because
That's,
we've made
that's
it
the
that
next time
obnoxious
Genie
to
can't
get
attend
back.
the session. You can do it the next time Genie can't attend a session.
I could just polymorph myself into a burrowing creature and then try and dig my way
Okay.
out.
Oh, sorry, I just had a crazy idea.
All right,
Oh no, because there's no reason.
go on.
Genie's not given either of you two any ginger lately, has he?
I think
mean-
I think Genie has probably been insistent that you all carry it. The
Yeah.
amount of teleporting you've been doing recently.
With the amount of ginger those two have between them, would that constitute a plant that I'm familiar with?
Yes.
No.
No, it has to be. Yeah, it has to be a
It's
large.
crystallized ginger.
Yeah, and it has to be a larger or larger
Okay,
plant.
okay.
He hasn't given you 20-foot square of ginger.
And it's not like I give you ginger root. It's crystallized ginger.
Yeah, yep. Okay,
Ginger root, I'm pretty sure, is disgusting.
Damn it! If teleportation was a touch spell, that would actually help me so much here, because then I could use Find Familiar, send a familiar with Oriana, cast teleportation on her and Cassius, and just stay in the basement myself for 8 hours.
Well, with all of those deliberations swimming through your mind and being having a bit of decision paralysis as to what to do and how to resolve this, I'm going to give you an extra 2 weeks to resolve it because it's nearly 10 o'clock. So that is where we're calling today's game.
15th level wizard can't figure his way out of a basement.
So if I'm reading this right, like the scenario right, you obviously mentioned the hand and obviously the sending stone last session, and you very deliberately mentioned Cassius clutching like a bandaged hand. I think I see where you're going with this. My guess here, and obviously you can either confirm or deny that up to you. I guess Cassius has lost a hand, and with it the sending stone. I think that's how that's playing out, right?
Yeah.
Which, hey, I will wildly take that over my character's sort of on and off boyfriend not being alive, you know? Like,
Are we morphing into the Star Wars story at this point?
I know, sorry, I love the addition of the aliens. I'm like, yes,
Yeah.
this could have completely.
I mean, the aliens have
We've
been
had
in it
aliens.
since I started planning this campaign. Like, this is the point at which the Nilshai enter the
Well,
story.
This is the
We've had
thing.
aliens. We've had a guy who wants too much power. We've got somebody who's lost a limb. We've got the R2D2 vision thing.
Hal needs a new weapon. What if it were a lightsaber?
What did you do with the Sun Sword?
That's still in Barovia, I assume, right?
Can we
don't
just
really
go
have-
back to Barovia and live there? It seems fine.
We've messed up Waterdeep to the point where Barovia
There
is by
is a
is by
cabin.
all standards
You're living-
better.
Yeah, I think it was still in Barovia.
Yeah.
Because we
Remember
only got
when-
it conditionally.
Yeah.
Genie
I
has
think.
it.
Hear me out.
It was Ariana that had it.
Yeah, but when you were left, Genie stayed behind in his
I
little
can't-
cabin.
True.
Are you
I
saying
cast
that your
banishment on myself?
Are you saying
and
the
then
old
filled the
character
entire
would have gone and got the sun
basement with
sword?
He's in with that crowd now. He's like friends with them all.
In with what crowd? The Barovian crowd? You know, notably evil.
Well, we can check in with Genie's adventures possibly at another time, but if you'd like to keep up with our adventures, you can follow us on social media at TheAglarion on Twitch and on Twitter even, and on YouTube. If you're watching on Twitch, all of the links to our social media and to our live stream schedule is in the panels beneath us, and if you're watching on YouTube, links are in the video description. That's everything we have time for this week. We are back possibly on Sunday evening to stream some more Sunday shenanigans. Keep an eye on social media for that. And then next Tuesday, my moral dimension returns with the second half of Chapter 3 of Life is Strange 1. We'll be playing that, and then we'll see where we go from there. So thank you for watching. We hope this hasn't been too traumatic, as these characters have been making their way now through. We're coming up to the end of this story arc.
Nearly level up soon.
We have passed the turning point in this story.
Or roll new characters.
Boy.
And everything is all downhill from here. So with that, it's goodbye from us. Enjoy yourselves. Be good to each other for the next 2 weeks. Genie's Lamp will return 2 weeks today on Monday, the 30th of January, 7:30 here on twitch.tv/TheAglarion. Good night. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Nerds.
Bye.